We're kicking this haul off with just the few books I bought at HeroesCon. I don't really go to HeroesCon to do too much back issue diving, wall hunting, or anything like that. You can find some killer deals, but you can always find those books online as well. So most of my time was spent in line, getting signatures, getting remarks, getting sketch covers. So you're going to see those at a later part. So big shout out to No Mas Comics. This was actually the first cover by, I'm going to totally butcher the name. I always do it, but excuse me, Tais Campos Delamento. Absolutely gorgeous cover. This is Popkill. I was a big fan of the series when it came out. This is one of the reprints. Comes with the holofoil COA. I was lucky enough to reach out and basically grab one on the website, but I wasn't able to pick it up, and I told him just to hold it till HeroesCon. So he just held it to HeroesCon. 2 out of 100. Absolutely fantastic. So again, big shout out to the Nomas and all the boys there. Speaking of shout outs, it's always a great time to talk to Nelson, Eris, Big Time Collectibles. They had Miko Swan, they had Johnny Desjardins there. This is actually the Miko Swan Crow cover. I got a trade and a Virgin set for our Whatnots for San Diego, just for the audience, but I had to pick up a trade for myself, especially because the Absolute Batman homage, absolutely fire. I think he had them drawn in at one point or removed them. Maybe it was a licensing thing, who knows. But man, this cover would have been even more fire if he would have had the pistols, like 2 silver revolvers or like some gats or something like that. Desert Eagles even. Great for remark options. So if you like that, you picked it up, steal my idea. But the Crow, limited to 500. Shout out Miko Swan. Shout out to Big Time Collectibles. Next 3 books. Gotta shout out my homies. Rob Fatstacks, Austin LeMay, DJ Lynx, Mark, Legion of Comics. Some of my closest personal friends in the community. I've been going to HeroesCon for 4 years. Met these guys through the comic book community. Couldn't be more proud of their success and what they're doing. If you don't know, they run an event called Comics Curing Cancer. It's a 3-day weekend. I think it's in early October. I forget the exact date, but it's all on YouTube. Tons of original art. Tons of artists donate things from the community. All kinds of slabs, insane stuff. Last year they did just over 60,000 in 3 days. And like I said, no money gets touched. It all goes straight to the American Cancer Society. They have a booth at HeroesCon, and they actually had some art books. So little sticker, and wait till you guys see what's coming. They have some insane stuff. I'll leave the description and their links in the description below on their IG and everything. But again, love these guys. So this is just an art book. They had different covers for the art book, and then they also had their own exclusive we'll talk about here in a second. We're going to start off with the Bart Sears cover, and this thing is just absolutely insane. Again, these are art books. These are still in stock, maybe out of stock, just depends on which cover. We'll get to the Absolute Batman one that's completely sold out. But again, check the description, check the links. All proceeds go to the American Cancer Society. But the Turok and Exo Man of War taking out all the cancer cells, this thing is just absolutely insane. I love my pinks and purples in covers. I'm a big N64 Turok guy. Loved Turok on the N64, one of my favorite games. So out of the art books, this is by far one of my favorites just because of the Turok. And then you guys know I got some Vampirella original art from this man hanging on the wall. This is the Zavala cover. Same thing as the art book. Same interiors. Got the sticker as well. But this thing is super dope. You know me. Kaiju fan. Love my Godzilla. Love my King Kong. Love the airbrush style. So the Zavala cover was absolutely great. I didn't have a chance to get this signed. Just was running around standing in lines the whole time. So hold this for another day. And then we have, not an art book, Mark Spears Monsters, issue number 10 with the exclusive Tin Man cover. Huge shout out to Mark Spears. If you didn't see him last year on the Comic Curing Cancer stream, he was going crazy, donating his hat, donating everything around him, signing everything, things out of his personal collection, art, all to raise money for cancer and the charity. So again, huge shout out to that dude. He donated the entire print run of this book. I think it was limited to 500. It might have been 800, 300. I think it was 500, but this sold out as well. He still has some copies, so you might be able to find them on his website, or I think it's like markspears.com, or through the Comics Curing Cancer. But I know this book and the Absolute Batman sold out immediately. So besides the stuff I picked up to get signed, I only bought 4 books. Like I said, I don't go to HeroesCon to back issue dive. There's not a lot of time. I was in line for hours and hours and hours, and you're about to see what everything I got signed. Let's stick with the theme of the Comics Curing Cancer art books for the next two books. And these 2 were the special ones, the ones that sold out immediately. This was the lava foil done by my man, the legend, Austin LeMay. I got it in the purple comic capsule because it's that absolute joker. So it's going to be super glary. But I don't care. It's gorgeous. It's protected. This was limited to only 25 copies. So this thing sold out almost immediately. And then he had the purple and green for the signatures. I was like, can you do the purple and green in one signature? It wasn't working, so he hit me with the regular sig and then his natural sig. So love this to death. And again, the lava foil, insane. This baby might have been the book of the con. What was this limited to? 800, I think. They did a big website drop for people ahead of time, so everybody that wasn't going to the con could have their chance to get this. This is the absolute Batman cover done by Matt Wilson, even signed in red by Matt Wilson, and then I got it in the black comic capsule. So I think that's a great match. But this thing, again, art book, not an absolute Batman book, but still a great way for Matt to do a sit cover. And they're doing medals of this as well with the glow-in-the-dark center. I'm going to try and get my hands on one of those. Those things are insane, like limited to like 10 or 20 copies. But this thing, Matt did a Whatnot show. This book, he signed it. It sold for around like 200, 225. Of course, he donated that right to the American Cancer Society. But this book and then the Felix like secret foils that were for the Absolute Batman book group, those were like the 3 books of the con in my opinion. So this thing sold out day 1 immediately. Everybody was asking about it the whole time. I've had multiple people reach out to me. So I am super happy to have that. So the Matt Wilson, absolutely crushed. Speaking of Matt Wilson, with the COA and everything, this is one of the books I brought. This is the Invincible, one of the reprints from MegaCon. I bought this from Matt at MegaCon. I just didn't have a chance to get things signed, so I was running around like crazy at MegaCon. So again, in the red to match with the blood. I didn't originally think I was going to like this Invincible cover as much as I did when it first came out. I knew I had to have it because I love supporting Matt, but the simplistic design, the line work, the shading with a little bit of blood makes this as one of my now favorite, more unique Invincible covers. Sticking with the MegaCon theme, shout out to Trinity Comics. 502 out of 800. We have the Jay Lee Battle Beast. Picked this up at MegaCon, but again, wanted to get it signed. So I got it signed by Jay Lee there. He didn't have anybody in line. He was just chilling. So I was able to talk to him for like 5 or 10 minutes, talk about some of the artwork. I actually have his Jay Lee poster artwork. I took out all the pages. They're like hang-up pin-ups, and I have my entire closet full of those. So I dig Jay Lee. I love his covers. He was a cool dude to talk to. So the Battle Beast with the red, super happy to have that. Finishing this last little stack with one more Invincible. This was from 10FW Comics. Shout out to the homies. I think this was another MegaCon or something like that, but it was I got it online, so maybe it was afterwards. But the Godtail, Conquest, Battle Beast, absolutely insane. And then again, signed by Godtail. One of the things I love and hate about foreign artists, it's not really a hate, it's just something I don't enjoy, is I love talking to the artists, interacting with them, things like that. It's one of my favorite things about conventions. And if an artist is international, foreign, sometimes they may not speak any English at all, or maybe they just speak very light English. But Godtail, I was super surprised. He spoke really well English. I was able to talk to him for like 10 or 15 minutes. He's one of my more favorite artists of the past couple years. I haven't collected a lot of Godtail stuff, but just watching him, what he does on his commission covers with magic and everything, he is incredible. So I love this Conquest, but it reminds me of a jacked up Dr. Robotnik from Sonic. So if you ever have a chance to be at a con, have some free time, don't be shy. Make sure you chat with these guys. Let them know how you feel. Let them know what some of your favorite covers are. They'll chat right back with you. And like I said, it's one of my favorite parts about going to a convention. But we're going to continue on with Third Eye Comics. Feral got it signed in green by Trish Forstner. Love me, Feral. My cats are actually in issue number 9. Key and Patches, the one I can't, if you ever check it out. It's in the back of the book, issue number 9. But Farrell's been amazing. I love Stray Dogs. I love that they're connecting. And then I had to get the Absolute Joker homage, signed in green, perfect placement with the little heart. Absolutely gorgeous. Trish is awesome. Always awesome. Never a bad time talking to Trish. She is always such a great chat. And she has some crazy good prices on commission. So definitely check her out. I got a ton of things signed for my boss and whatnot and stuff. I had like 10 or 15 books for Scotty Young for just my boss. But I only got one book signed for myself. And it had to be the Battle Beast. Again, matching in the red comic capsule. Such a great cover, issue number 6, and then signed down there. I was hoping he had maybe like a green or like something that would stand out. But sometimes when you go to an artist, they might have paint pens. They might just have 2 Sharpies. It just kind of depends on what is best for the artist. Whatever's quicker for the artist is best for me. So I'm totally cool with that. Scotty only had the black and silver Sharpies. So it was super quick, made the lines go a little faster, even though I was still in line for like an hour and a half to 2 hours. But just happy to have this. I got this on the website. I don't normally buy things signed because I like to buy them and then get them signed in person. And it's just better for me like that. So Battle Beast, issue number 6 in the red comic capsule.
Let's go, man. Ignore what one of these says on my window board because I just have control. And now Beckerman says it.
Oh, what's that?
Beckerman, that jerk.
Yes, sir. That one. I was going to give you the go. You know me.
Go birds.
You know me.
Go birds.
I'm more scared of the Giants.
I may want that chain back and keep saying that. No.
I've been giving the Giants props all weekend, bro.
I know.
All weekend.
But you're the only one. No.
Somebody's got to give me some love. Your weekend going good, too?
That's going awesome, man.
Crushing it, Skeleton.
Thanks, dude.
Crushed it.
Thanks.
Love the style.
I had a very fun time.
Good, man.
In
Good.
case I had the money, I
Thank you, sir.
didn't have to run back to the hotel. But I walked up to Brett's booth, and there was only like 2 or 3 people just kind of hanging out, and his art rep was there. And I was like, oh, hi, is Brett at like a panel? Is he on break? And she's like, no, he just went to go wash his hands real quick, and he'll be right back if you want to hang out. So I was like, done. Waited like 2 or 3 minutes. 2 or 3 people in front of me got signed, and then I was next. Like I said, his booth was madness the whole time. I love seeing the success of Brett being such another absolute gem to talk to. You can tell how passionate he is for the fans, and he just loves being there. So I love seeing the success for him. I've been a fan since I Hate Fairyland, so you're going to see that in a second. But he had hundreds of people in his line. He was right next to the Felix guys as well. So that whole corner of HeroesCon with Brett being the Felix guys, CGC, Scott Snyder, it was nuts. That entire section was nuts.
I have an off-white. Is that okay?
Yeah, whatever you want. Dealer's choice. If it's not there, dealer's choice, sir. I tried to meet you at MegaCon. It was just way too busy. There was no chance. No chance.
MegaCon was great.
Yeah. And like I said, man, absolutely phenomenal story. It's so fun. It's so cool, man. All my friends talk about it and everything. They're big collectors.
Oh, that's nice. So good. I'm glad people like the book.
Yes.
That's the one that's really
I'm a big gamer and everything. I love the fantasy aspect and everything. Now with Dungeon Crawler Carl coming out, now I'm all in on that. I've never even read it or really.
But I got the
about
Tyler
it, so I'm
Kirkham
picking up
again.
trades and everything like
Always
that.
love me some comic capsules. I actually need to make another order because I had to take a few of my other random books out to match with these. So I only got a few comic capsules, so I'm about to make another big order, maybe get their Skittle pack or something like that because I'm filling up my wall. But signed in green by Brett Bean. I love this cover, and now I need to get Tyler Kirkham to sign down here as well to match. But Dork's been phenomenal. I love Dungeon Crawler Carl as well, so it's kind of just brought me into that whole fandom. So speaking of Dork, you know you had to get the issue number 1 first print. I didn't have my girlfriend with me this year, so it was a little one-man job. I actually filmed a snippet. I did just barely, it's still there, barely smudged his signature. So it's totally cool. Never going to sell it in the PC forever, but you can still see it and everything. I've seen some SIGs get really smudged. But the one thing you always need to make sure you do is when you have signatures, paint pens, anything, please make sure they are dry. If you don't think they are dry, wait another couple minutes. The safest thing to do is get your finger super dry, and you can just quick tap it just like that. So if you quick tap it like that and you still feel it on your finger, it's still wet, let it dry a little bit. But if you do a little quick tap like that, it won't smudge. But if you put your book in and it's still wet, it will smudge. So I got this one signed, and then I just set it on top. So I had window bags for these. It's my own fault, but I'm still happy. Speaking of Brett Bean, I told you guys I've been a fan of his for years. I have all the I Hate Fairyland hardcovers. Love the series. I have a bunch of the covers by Scotty Young and Jenny Frison. So I wanted to take my Jenny Frison one since they're all going to be there. You got Jenny Frison, you got Brett Bean, and then Scotty. I love his placement signed right on the neck. I didn't have any window bags for this, so I just let him kind of dealer's choice. But yeah, I only need, the letterist and colorist at this point. So maybe find them, but I've never even seen them at a con or anything. Just happy to have that. And again, tossed it in my clear comic capsule. And then Jenny, I got a bunch of stuff signed by her. She was 5 free signatures like always, and then like $5 after. Got a few books signed for the job. That way we can bring some books for the audience. But then I had to get my Hello Darkness. I think this is issue like 10 or 11. Horror series she's doing right now. Some of my favorite covers that she's put out in a long time. And then one of my probably top 3 favorite pickups of the con. This is the Pop Kill New York Comic Con Nomos. Got it in the clear backer board and everything. Limited to 200, 37 out of 200. This book's still selling for like $300-$400 raw. Thing sold out immediately. Was one of the bigger books at New York Comic Con. Had her sign it in the red. And then one of the big things with Jenny Frison, she has it on her table. No signatures, no remarks, no nothing. Nothing extra. That is her big thing. So I was like, hey, I'm friends with Jenny. She recognizes me. The first thing she asked, she's like, oh, where's your girlfriend? I told her she didn't want to come this time. She's a sweetheart. Sometimes she's in a vibe that she doesn't really want to talk to people, but I always judge an artist. You know, sometimes they're there for hours and hours and hours and hours signing. Sometimes they don't want to have a full conversation, so sometimes I keep it short and sweet. Or if they're super bubbly, super happy, then I know to chat them up. So it's always just kind of a vibe thing. I just try and be courteous to the artist as much as possible. But I was like, hey, this is one of my favorite books in my collection. Can I get just one heart on it? And she's like, I'll do you one better. I'll do 3. So signed in the red with the 3 hearts. Absolutely killer. Now I need to buy another red comic capsule, throw this in, get it on the wall. Now that this video is running a little bit long, and I want to take my time showing off these sketch covers, talking about the artist, my remarks, my absolute Batman stuff. Like, I'll just flash it one time for you, get you guys hyped, give you another flash. I think I'm going to save that for a part 2 because I really want to get into detail. I got a few things I really want to take some time on. So we're going to leave it off on here with all the signed books, the exclusives, and everything. Next video will be all absolute Batman stuff, my CGC, my original art, the crazy, crazy, crazy stuff. I even bought some original artwork from Daniel Warren Johnson himself. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Drop a comment what your favorite was. All of it's my favorite, but none of it compares to meeting up with my friends, meeting up from my family in the community, the brothers, the sisters, the family I've never had, meeting the artist. Just doing that is always what HeroesCon is about for me. HeroesCon is unmatched when it comes to con. They said they set ticket prices, record ticket prices for Friday and Saturday. I could tell it kind of felt like MegaCon, but with the space HeroCon has, it's never, never, never an issue. So lines were crazy, but everything was worth it. So stay tuned for part 2. Absolute Batman's coming in hot. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you read your books, but always stay legendary. And as always, I hope you guys find what you're looking for. Thank you.